Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a good one. I did a video about Marvel Rivals a little earlier today. I released it, I think, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when it came out on April 4th. Um, and it basically just talked about Marvel Rivals' announcement of Season 2, what we can expect from Season 2 with the new characters, and kind of their plans going forward. Today, they dropped a couple of new things, mainly just the new look of the map and why they decided to go with Emma Frost instead of somebody a little bit more popular like a Daredevil or a Deadpool or let's say a Falcon because of the movie that's been out. Um, but they talk about the reasoning behind that, and then they have announced a couple of new skins. Um, but before I go any further, um, it's been raining quite a bit off and on here, and it's been pretty heavy. So if you hear the rain in the background, I apologize, or the thunder, just like that. So I do apologize for that, but let's go ahead and jump right into us. So I'm on the Marvel Rivals X page here. I am not really familiar with X. Um, so this is kind of the first time I've ever really used it for like any kind of news source materials or anything like that. But if you would like to follow me, you can follow me on here. I am the Hoosier Normie, and you could also, if you'd like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I just talk about whatever I find interesting. I'm not too engaged on X, but if you would like to reach out and maybe have an idea for something that you want me to cover or just talk about, go ahead and do so. But we are on here, and beginning here, this is the trailer that was released for season 2. This was released yesterday. So we have Emma Frost there, her thick thighs saving lives, and this is Krak. Krakoa, I think is what it's called. But we do see some familiar skins and we see some older skins as well. And here she is on the stage, kind of talking about the event that has taken place, which is the Hellfire Gala. And I do talk about that a bit in my video, what that is all about. So we are also introduced to Ultron, who is the season 2.5 hero that will be coming out. There is no word on any kind of other heroes coming out or villains, if you want to say that as well. There's no word on any other villains or heroes other than those two. So those are the ones that we are definitely getting, though. Now they did say, sorry for the camera shake there, but they did say that season 3, when that comes out, they do plan on releasing a hero at least once a month. They want to try to get as many as they can. At least this is how I understood it. They want to try to get as many as they can out there. So I'm wondering as well if that means they're going to have new maps as well. Because personally, I'm getting tired of playing the same old maps over and over and over again. So the more maps, the merrier. I think the more characters would be better because that can introduce some new team ups or a variety of team ups. And I think if they do it right, it won't be too much of a problem. But I am curious to see if they add characters and then they take out other characters. It's kind of like the Destiny thing where they added the planets and took out other ones as well. Hopefully not. I hope they kind of keep the full roster. But I think it will just determine on how problematic it turns out being, because you don't want to oversaturate things. But at the same time, it's a superhero game. You want to try to utilize all the superheroes, right? So, and like me, like I only typically play as Sue Storm. I recently started playing Scarlet Witch, but I play Sue Storm, Scarlet Witch, Punisher, and every now and then I would play, um, oh gosh, I forget his name now. I think Winter Soldier. I play him every now and then, but mainly I main Sue and Scarlet Witch. Oh, Hawkeye. That's who I'm thinking of. But I don't know why I compared him to Winter Soldier. But there is the opportunity for me to play these other characters that I am actually interested in playing in. So I would kind of feel the same way if they added a lot more characters. But the second thing I want to kind of talk about is this. So they as of 9 hours ago they posted this, and this is kind of them explaining I think the reason why they chose Emma Frost as the hero, and I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to read this top section here. If you would like to read it, please go to their X website or the X profile and read it for yourselves. If you're not a fan of X, just try to find it and whatever platform they're on and read it that way. But I'm going to read this top part, and this will kind of explain why they chose this. But there's no doubt about it. The Krakoan era is legendary, a treasure trove of countless masterpieces and brilliant creative sparks. We still believe it stands as one of the greatest comic narratives of our time. Its storyline is so captivating that when we reached the endings of House of X and Powers of X, watching Charles Xavier and Magneto, stand side by side on the carousel at the shore of destiny, gazing skyward as fireworks burst into life. We were moved to our core. It was our love for that breathtaking moment that unified our resolve to introduce Krakoa and its limitless potential into Marvel Rivals. Krakoa, uh, that name doesn't sound familiar to me at all, and it is a recent comic, from what I understand. When I did my video yesterday, I kind of briefly touched on the Hellfire Gala, and Krakoa was brought up. I think I called it like Krakoa or something. I think I called it wrong, but said the wrong name rather. But the new stuff I'm not very familiar with. I didn't read a whole lot of comics growing up. My reference to Marvel really is from like the Spider-Man 90s TV show and the X-Men 90s show. And I kind of read like the Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men series growing up. And I had a couple of other comic books. But really, especially the stuff from I would say 2018 onward, I have no idea what it's all about. And I believe the Hellfire Gala began in 2021, but I could be wrong about that. So I will say that Marvel Rivals has piqued my interest in Marvel again, and I have been considering getting like a subscription to where I can read the comic books. I'm still thinking about it, though. It depends on the price. But this would explain why they chose to go with Emma Frost as the hero, because she is one of the main characters of the Hellfire Gala era, or I guess these comic books. And I don't know if a main character, but a prominent character. You can find like a synopsis on the Marvel website about the Hellfire Gala as well. But I was actually surprised for a while that they chose her, and now we know why. This is a look of the map, Krakoa. It's a really pretty looking map. We've got a lot of like futuristic environments. It looks like the typical Marvel futuristic stuff, like the spiral, like the circular buildings and stuff in the background. But we see these statues of these X-Men, right? You had Storm, Magneto, Emma Frost, and then Charles Xavier, which I find really interesting because one, you know, Charles Xavier is always in the wheelchair, right, for me. So I don't know if that's changed. And it could be somebody else. I'm thinking it's Charles Xavier, okay? But that shows that we have a new character model in the midst. So we kind of saw the same thing with Blade, where his character model was in like a newspaper clipping and one of the events that was held in season 1. And that was another character that I was thinking, well, maybe he'll be released in season 2. But there are certain things that they're showing, like that dragon, for example. I don't know if that's relevant to the comics or anything like that. It's kind of weird that they just showed him at the end. But um, the map itself looked really beautiful. I liked the way it kind of gave that old school, like, way that the people would look at the future, right? Where it had the big, long, tall buildings and it just looked like a UFO at the top. You saw that in the Fantastic Four trailer too, which I thought was really neat. It was kind of nostalgic in its own way. But let's go ahead and move on to some of the outfits. So this is a Star-Lord outfit. And this was inspired by Peter Quill's epic ascension in Guardians of the Galaxy 2015 #1. The King of Spartek's costume arrives in Marvel Rivals to celebrate season 2. So it's they're bringing in more costumes to showcase um, old, like other comics and stuff, to keep things lore accurate, and that's something I really appreciate that Rivals does. They try to keep accurate to the lore. Now, this outfit from Emma Frost, that we saw on the left there of that trailer, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but that has sparked up a little bit of controversy. But we will talk about that here in the next two slides here. This here is the showcase of the skins that we will get unlocked through the battle pass. So we had the Spider-Man skin here. It looks like, I really like the way it looks. I'm not a huge fan of the mask, but it is cool. This is probably my favorite one right here, this Iron Fist one. I've never played Iron Fist, but I think once I get this one, I might play him a little bit. Not too impressed with the Captain America one, but we did see Ultron, and we have a classic X-Men style outfit for Magic and Psylocke. We have a punk Squirrel Girl, which she looks silly. A more mature looking Luna Snow. And then we have Black Widow here. I really like the mask. And then not finally, but we have the Hulk, Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Look there. He kind of looked like Solomon Grundy from DC. And then finally, we have this masquerade version of Cloak and Dagger. I think my favorite costumes out of this whole lineup, definitely the Iron Fist one, but the Black Widow one is pretty cool too. I love that mask. But as I said, it is going to be part of the new season battle pass, so it's going to be I believe the same thing. You would get your chrono tokens or whatever, and after every 1,000 ones you spend, you'd get the subsequent skin. It is a little interesting because Luna Snow did look a little bit more mature in her design there. So that was pretty cool to see. So this is where the controversy kind of sets in. So here we have Emma Frost in this outfit. So there are people out there saying that this is objectifying women and all that. And there are people who are defending it as well. I am one of the ones that defend it, and I'll kind of talk about why in a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about the event here. So step into the shadows of power with Emma Frost's iconic X-Revolution costume, making a majestic entrance inspired by her unforgettable debut in Uncanny X-Men 2013 #1. So, again, this kind of sparked up some controversy because of the reasons I listed. This gentleman here, Alejandro, the Time Lord Alex, he says this: I hate that people are calling it a Gooner outfit. These outfits aren't just made up. They are comic book characters with established lore that includes established fashion. They have a lot of skimpy outfits for the girls, and that they can and will bring to Rivals. Now, I don't think they're going to bring every skimpy outfit that was in these comic books to Rivals, although I think they would make a lot of money doing so. But he touches on something I talk about a lot with friends, and I've also talked about in previous videos. When it comes to Marvel and DC, and just anything that's done that was created by somebody else, that let's say it's a comic book or a video game, and they wanted to adapt it into a movie or a TV show or whatever. You are dealing with somebody else's work. Somebody else put in the work to not just how the character looks, but how the character feels, how it acts, how what it believes. And he brings up the point of fashion as well, which is something I never really considered, because everybody has their own fashion sense. Me, I'm typically in a t-shirt and shorts or jeans. That's about it. But there are people out there who like to dress in a sexy manner. Emma Frost is one of those characters. She's always in something not necessarily provocative, but in something attractive. And why wouldn't she be? I feel like most attractive women that you meet, even ones who may not be necessarily attractive but think they are attractive, well, they do tend to try to wear attractive clothing. And this is no different. So, and also, I mean, she can turn her skin to diamonds, so it just kind of showcased that power as well. You can't really showcase that power if she's like fully clothed, other than like her head, right? But my problem with this kind of stuff is when people do get the go ahead to make a series based off of a character or whatever, or have the okay to do it. They decide that, hey, we're gonna throw everything about the character out the window, and well, I guess I should do it that way because my window's over there. But we're gonna throw it out the window, and then just what we want for the character we're gonna put in. And for me, that's very disrespectful to do, because it's not your creation, for one. You have the privilege to do it, you have the honor to do it, and there's a reason why you're doing it, and it's because these are beloved characters. And people who do this, who claim that they love these characters forever, there's a reason why they love the characters. So why are you changing it? You know, why would you change the race or the sex or the political beliefs or their sexuality or whatever it is? It's already been established. You have, I mean, she was introduced in 2013, so you have years to go off of. So I don't understand why they feel the need to do that. And that's a big problem that I have. And that's a problem I had with the Marvel movies. Main problem I had with the Marvel movies was the dumb humor in Marvel movies, but that's for another video possibly. But he touches on a really good point, and this is exactly how I feel about the way these characters look. There's another post down here, right here, where it's another picture of the comic where she's in that outfit or whatever. But I have no problem with this outfit. I think it looks great. Again, I said it in my first video, I think she's a little she's a little too thick. I think her build should have been more of a Luna Snow build than the combination of a Squirrel Girl and Sue Storm. But it is what it is. It's not a massive like change or anything. I think she still like looks great. But yeah, the last thing really to touch on is this. We have these two new outfits that were just released today of Hawkeye and Thor. They both look phenomenal. I love both of these looks. But then we have a Scarlet Witch Chaos Gown costume and nameplate that are for free on April 11th. I haven't logged on yet, so I don't know if this is actually going on now, but it does say April 11th, so I think that's when we would be able to expect it. And it looks like you just progress through 9 stages. Third stage, you get the nameplate, maybe get tokens or whatever during the other stages, but at the end, at the 9th stage, you will get the costume itself. It's a pretty neat looking costume. I like it. Most of her costumes so far, at least the ones that we've just unlocked through either a battle pass or her first costume, they kind of roughly look the same. So I'm hoping that we get like something drastic, like a really cool change for her. But yeah, other than that, I've really got nothing else to say. I just wanted to kind of touch on the new things that were dropped, more specifically the map, because that was something I really wanted to look at, and the outfits were just kind of a bonus. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about all this. Do you think that there was any controversy to her outfit? Do you not like the way that they've designed it, or her? Are you excited for season 2? Are you excited to play as her? Me personally, I don't know if I'll play as her too much. I might play Ultron. I think he'd probably fit my playstyle a little better, but hopefully they're good and they're balanced. I doubt it, but we'll see. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want to subscribe, you can do so. If you want to dislike it, feel free. I do all of this for fun, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and talk to you guys later. I hope you guys take care. See you later.